Hi everybody, hey, welcome back. Right now we're working on our 7th video in this series. And right now what we're looking at is this. I've actually turned on every layer on the floor plan. Both the basement foundation layers and the main floor, just so we can see, make sure everything lines up, talk about it a little bit. Now, I put in the floor joists at 2 foot on center. That might change, then you get engineers and manufacturers and various specifications involved, but that gives us a rough idea. But the other thing it allows us to do is we're laying this stuff out is to figure out what lines up where. Now, one thing we will notice, this plan originally was set up for a crawl space or a slab on grade. And then when I did the drawing for the foundation, I simply made a couple of slight changes and turned it into a basement layer. Now, I'm going to zoom in on a couple of things to show you what I've done here. Now, you'll notice this hatching that is the basement wall goes under the brick. That's that brick ledge I was talking about. It's got to be there, otherwise this brick can't sit there. So the brick is represented by these hatch lines here that are the diagonals, and this triangular dot pattern that's in the gray poche is the foundation layer. It's the stem wall coming up. And then you can see my footings going around, and you can see the difference in my concrete dimensions, where they've got to be poured to, as opposed to my wall dimensions, where the framing's got to go to. Those are kind of important notes to have on your plan. It actually, in the end, because remember, the wall up here, you'll notice this wall is dimensioned to the wall, not to the brick. It actually makes the foundation ever so slightly, okay, about 6 inches slightly, larger than the main floor. But what we want to do is this. Once we get to here, we got to start talking about how we're going to organize our drawings. Now, in our template, we start with a basic cover sheet that's just a blank sheet in our cover page. So this is paper space as opposed to the model space right here. Okay, so we've got the model space here, the paper space here. So as I start plugging these things in, how do I make this all work for us? Well, you got a couple options here. So I'm going to right click on this, and I can go in here and I can move or copy. So I'm going to do right here. I'm going to copy, and it pops up a little window, looks like this, popped up on this other screen. I'm going to make a copy, and we go OK. So it just made a copy of the cover. Well, I can reorder them by literally just dragging them. I can also rename them by right-clicking and picking on rename. Well, in my world, this would be front. Oops, got to get my cap lock set right. Front elevation. Okay. Jiminy Christmas, I can't type today. All right. So there's that. And I would say, okay, now what do? I have to rename this, I have to renumber it. Now, later on, we'll show you how to set up a whole bunch of attribute tables and things, and we can set this so it actually fills a bunch of this stuff in with attributes and does it all. But for right now, let's hold to this. So that's how I would make each page. Now, here's the trick. I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to pull this down right here. Whoop, got to click on this slider bar right here. I now have down here a window. Now I'm going to turn off that right here, and that is my window looking into model space. Okay, that window is literally a box that marks where I look into the model space here. So consider this like a template I'd put on a window, and then this is the whole, the actual glass area here that I'm looking into my model. Now if I go MS here, see how it highlights that is the color of its layer. Now remember I told you those pink layers are my no plot layers. So I can see in now, and my UCS just changed shape right here. Now if I go Z enter, E enter for extents, it's going to zoom me to everything there. Now I've already got some template pieces here, some manufacturer's details, but there's my floor plan right there. Now I'll zoom in on my floor plan. I'm just moving my cursor over it and rolling in like normal. Now let's say I want to set it to a specific scale. Well, how do I set a scale? In this case, I type Z for zoom, enter, and I do a ratio, 1 to 48, and that's XP, you know, reference to paper space. Now, it hardly moved because I was really close as it was. So if I go back to paper space here, I can actually change the shape of my paper space window to allow for that to be completely seen. Now, if I go back up here and I turn it off so I can't see my paper space window, okay, all the way down here, hide that. And I'm going to freeze it in new windows. That's it. That's all it takes. So I can see it. Now, here's the trick. MS. Notice I can see everything here. I don't want to see everything. So I'm going to right click, right. Actually, let's do it over here on my property managers. Check this out. I'm going to go over to my property manager. I'm going to click right here on beams, go all the way down here to the bottom of my B layers, which is right there. And I'm going to freeze this in current window, which is this tab right here, this window with the little sun on it icon. And then when I click back off, see what I mean? It's gone. So if I go PS, my cursor changes back to a paperspace UCS marker, but all my floor plan, all my basement foundation floor plan is now hidden. I'm only seeing the ground floor. That's what we want to see. That is correct. So that's where we want to go with this. So thank you, and hopefully that makes some sense to you. Watch this a couple of times if you need to help you sort it out, and we'll see you in class. Bye.